Hello my dear Cancer, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between May 1st and May 15, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos. I have also put up a voting for the final order to read in, so don't forget to vote and to hit the thumbs up for your sign or signs. And Cancer, you were both you had most liked, your video was most liked, and you also voted very beautifully for your sign, so you are first out. Okay, so I have put astrological information for the month of May in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. This month, I'm doing a collaboration with my friend and mentor Miri to present her brand new channel, MEI RECYLED Dreamwork. So please check it out and subscribe to her channel. For this reading, I used Osho Zen Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, Cancer, I see isolation and the miser. So Three of Swords is heartbreak. Four of Pentacles is the miser, is someone holding back, but this time it's in reversed. So it might be that you have a lack of boundaries due to a heartbreak or due to being badly treated, backstabbed, whatever. So it kind of reduces your own self-value and makes you erase your own boundaries. It's what it seems. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we have integration with the isolation. So the Three of Swords here with the integration is the Alchemist Temperance card number 14. It kind of indicates that you need to get friendly with your pain. I have been nagging you about this for a very long time, but it's true. It's the gateway to whom we go through and win ourselves. Okay, so when you're not scared of your own pain anymore, nothing on the outside can really affect you because you have made your inside into a beautiful temple. So you need to integrate this isolation. It's like almost like a lost soul part of yours. It's because a side of you has become hurt. It's kind of not welcome in the group of you anymore. So if a part of you has been traumatized, you don't want to talk with it, you don't want to collaborate with it, you don't want to integrate with it because it hurts. Okay, and so it's double trauma for this soul part of yours when you both it has gone through something that was very painful, and also it gets shunned out by you. Okay, you are not putting attention towards it. Attention is love. Attention is the light of your soul. Whatever you put your attention to will self become light, and it's also very it's a very beautiful creative power. So it seems like you need to really start to, you know, feel your pain or feel your body at least when you are driving your car, standing in line, shopping for groceries, talking with a friend, working, watching TV, going for a walk. Feel your inside. Make a scan through your body and see how it is. If you find something uncomfortable, you kind of just stay with it. You might have to chase it through your body since you have neglected this soul part for such a long time, this traumatized part of you. So it shies away from your love because it doesn't feel dignified. But if you start to give it attention, it's like taking the hand of a little child that has been hurt and saying, okay, we will fix this. Okay. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world, and here we have Two of Wands is the possibility card. So it's about from my point of view, it looks a little bit like you look for something else. You try to find like a solution that won't won't give you any pain, or doesn't have to, you don't have to face your pain, or you can run away from your pain. But the Two of Wands is a very powerful card, because it's like how you decide, how you control your life. It's self-control. This eagle, it's roaming above, trying to make a decision, or trying to look for prey here. So use this self-control and this your capacity to make choices, to make the good choices for your own healing. Don't sell yourself off short. Don't lower your standards, and don't go in for bad compromises. Okay. So I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether. 7, the patience card. 7 of Pentacles is in the reversed. So 7 of Pentacles is like a little bit slow going energy. You might feel like you have become stuck in a very desert-like place, and you have lost the patience with it. How long am I going to stay here and feel this darn pain? Well, until it's not painful anymore, until you have learned to decipher the language of your own vibration. Okay, when you have learned to decipher the language of yourself, how you are communicating with yourself, also how the divine is communicating with you through vibration and frequencies. Pain is it's just one scale of the same kind of feeling. If we love someone greatly, the love might be feeling here, and the pain of losing them might be here, but it's kind of the same feeling. It's just different polarities of it, different degrees of it. So when you have loved and lost, it will be painful, because it's like this love can't get an outburst, or you are not getting you want something to counter this. If you love someone, you want them to love you back, and sometimes this is not the case. But here you have lost patience with this situation overall, and you don't want to be in it anymore. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Cancer viewers. Thank you so much for hitting the thumbs up button that much for the last video. Here we have traveling. So traveling is the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is a very beautiful card. It's about communicating. It's about freeing up energy. It's about collecting lost soul parts, open the book of knowledge that's usually written with blood, okay, and horrible experiences and taking it all in, taking in the truth. It's like a liberation. It's like coal becoming diamond, underneath hard pressure. So this is a release card, because it's making you, it's like you're accepting something. So this is probably the advice for you, that start to accept what is. And also we had 2 of Wands. It's like roaming over this path, and here you have your path. So it's like your path forward is starting to crystallize and making its way, showing itself to you. You have something that you are supposed to do, something you are called to do, and this is the road to do it. The 8 of Wands is also about communication. Might be worldwide communication. It might be a text message coming through, or some other kind of message coming through for you, or you starting to communicate how it feels inside of you for the people that cares to listen. Like, this is how I feel, this is what I want, this isn't what I want. Also starting to listen, to really listen. The 8 of Wands is a situation where we can really dissolve things. Yes, arguments like this. This is the Knight of Swords. Here it shows up like fighting, because the Knight of Swords is kind of Gemini energy, and it's how we can sometimes fight with ourselves in our head. I want this, but I can't because of this and this. I would like to go there, but I can't because of this and this. I love this person, but they doesn't love me, so it's no use, and it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So this argument goes on on inside of you, but it's of course also mirrored on the outside of you. And this is what you can dissolve with the Eight of Wands. Start to communicate yourself truthfully and authentically. Also really listen to what the other person says, even if they say something that you don't want to hear, and say it back to them. Okay, so I hear you don't love me anymore, or I hear that you feel that I'm bullying you, or I hear that you feel very tired and you can't take responsibility in this situation. Is this correct? Is this what you mean? And the other person might fill up and say, yes, it's kind of, but it's more like this and this. So start to really listen also to yourself, all of the things inside of you, not just chosen parts that feel great, but all the different parts of you. Okay. I want a clear view reading for my dear Cancer viewers. I want my dear Cancers to have love in their lives, harmony in the reversed, adventure in the reversed. This is 2 pages. So it's the Page of Swords with the Page of Pentacles. And here you have harmony is the 10 of Cups card. So it's... for some of you, you might be dealing with, your inner child is very on the surface, and another person's child is also very on the surface, and both is kind of in dire need of healing, also of connecting their heart with their mind. So to stop the conflict, to stop the inner conflict. Sometimes things can have great, be with great opposites, like for this, what I said, that you can love a person and they don't love you back. Both things can exist simultaneously. Okay, there's no contradiction. You can love a person that doesn't love you back. It's fine. As long as you love them, you love them. No problem. And nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. What is, just accept whatever is. Here is a person that has a little bit problem of accepting what is. The Page of Swords is sometimes called the rebel without a cause, and it's when they are being caught up with the mind and thinking too much and being too much into the problems and the problems solutions. The Page of Swords can be a beautiful energy. It can be this clean cut sword that kind of cuts through the dust and the ashes of it all and makes a clear way. But if you're so preoccupied with thinking like, this person said this and they did this to me and this was what happened, and I will never, try to just feel the inside of your body. And when you feel your inside of your body, you feel like, well, you will never have this what you want, because the Page of Pentacles is a person that's very focused upon their mission. They have a dream, and it seems for you that this dream will never be fulfilled, and it's therefore your mind is very preoccupied with this. But if you just calm down and just accept whatever is. If you can't change it, accept it. If you can change it, change it. And accept the things you can't change. It's kind of the serenity prayer here. Yes, and slowing down. Slowing down is the Knight of Pentacles. So it seems like you need to find a space in your body. Start to meditate. Start to sit somewhere and be bored out of your skull. Don't do anything. Just stay like a tiger in a cage inside your own body, and don't go anywhere. Okay, just stay with yourself, because this threshold that you're in, it can't be solved with the mind. You can't find like a problem solver here, or a solution to your problem. You need to just stay with whatever is, even if you have a little bit lack of patience and you have like some kind of get it now ideas. Try to just stay with whatever is. The slowing down, the Knight of Pentacles, can be a Taurus person in your life. It can be a Capricorn or a Virgo as well. You also have the Page of Pentacles in the reversed. And this energy, it's the energy of seeing the laying of the land before you start to plant your seeds. Okay, so you need to start to see the laying on the land. And how will you do that? By staying aware, staying conscious, staying in your own body, so you can get the feedback from the divine and from your own biological system and see what's really going on. Okay, so you need to not be so hasty right now. And if you feel like you are in a little bit of a desert period, that's exactly what the doctor ordered or what the divine wants, because it's time for you to meet yourself. Okay. So want my dear Cancer to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. So it's like you have tried so hard with something that you almost have pushed yourself into almost a post-traumatic stress disorder situation, and you are not able to stay and tune in. This is the Four of Cups card, so it's again the same thing. Stay with your body. It's like it's very problematic for you because you're so stuck with all these thoughts, the impossible things that can't be solved, but they can be solved. The Eight of Swords is in the reverse. So if you just you kind of don't bother anymore about these voices, you just listen to them. They are not talking the truth. They are not talking falsely either. They are just saying different things. You can write it down. I feel like this person said this, whatever, and just put the journal to the side and feel your inside. Digest whatever is going on now. As I said, it seems like you're on a threshold, doing something very important, and you need a lot of stillness, a lot of sitting, having boring times. If you have problems sleeping, it's probably because you're not digesting this during the day, so it will have to come to you by night. You have the 10, the harmony, and the 10 rebirth. So for some of you, that's big struggles in your relationships. People is they are not what you expected. They have turned out to be something that you didn't want, or that felt very sad for you. So it's like you are in a liberation process, and this can be very sad. But when we start to see the reality of our situation, we can also do something that we're really meant to be. We saw the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, so it's kind of your life mission. And here we have We Are the World, the 10 of Pentacles. It's also in the reverse, and you have a lot of 10s here. So it's talking about reconnecting with yourself, and therefore also reconnecting with other humans, instead of just seeing the picture that you have seen of them for as long as you remember or have known them. You now start to see the real person, because you also start to see the real you. Yes, it's an ongoing disaster, and it's an ongoing disaster because you kind of don't want to let go. You are a person of the heart, and for some of you, like usually the masculine side of you will have resistance towards what you are overall, and therefore you can become almost super cold and like a creature without a soul, almost, because you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to have feelings, you're not supposed to this, that, and all these things. So when you are not able to feel your body, you can become like a distorted version of yourself. And for others, that more like your female side of you can be over emotional instead, can take all this pain in from the whole world, and not just your pain, but that person's pain, and this person's pain, and my relative's pain, and my boss's pain, and my children's pain, and everyone's pain. And that's it's burning you out. Okay, if you're taking on this much, it will end up with you getting sick or exhausted, or having a volcanic eruption, being really mad, and that will be the only healthy choice here, to become really mad and start to set some boundaries. Okay. Oh, so see here if we can. Oh, probably finally ready. Okay. So, new record for shuffling the cards, 20 minutes. But this coming through so much messages from you for you. So it's be grateful for all this energy that the divine is serving to you, all these beautiful messages that comes through. And you don't have to interpret them in the same way I do. You get your own interpretation, you get your own instincts when you see the card. So listen more to that than what you're listening to me, because you are closer to you and you are connected to the same source as I. So, okay, I will just tune in for a few seconds here. Okay, so it's a really early morning here, so the sun is coming through my roof ceiling. I also have a beautiful dream catcher with crystals and beams and glass, so it might come like orbs through the room, and it's usually just reflections from the sun, okay? So, my dear Cancer, this is your future, there, and this is your now, there, and this is the past. So in the past we have isolation, and it's in the reversed, Three of Swords, because you're starting here to heal from this post-traumatic stress that you kind of inflicted on yourself due to not having boundaries, or to not seeing the reality, refusing to see the reality, and not being strong for yourself, just living on this dream of yours, how you wanted things to be, instead of seeing the reality. But here it's teamwork together with the divine, 3-3, so it's the Holy Trinity, connected to the Empress card, or all that is. And this is kind of showing you that there's a way out of this, and you have been on this path for a long time, and you're not alone. It's like all eyes on you. Your ancestors, your divine guides, angels, everything is like watching over you and trying to help you over this threshold. So you can feel very lonely, but you're not. And you can feel very unjustly treated by life. Maybe life doesn't bring you the thing that you really want, but it's here to kind of squeeze you through something. So whatever you see, whatever you feel, just accept it. Accept also when you feel resistance to your own divine path. Whatever comes, just accept it and be with it, and it will make you see things more and more clear for every day that goes by. And here we have the Page of Swords. Some of you might have dealing with a teenager or a child or a person acting like a teenager. This can be a part of you also, being very scared, try to figure things out before they happen. To kind of prevent a bad future. And here we have also this, so some of you might even be in a twin flame situation, or like involved in some kind of duality where we're really reflecting each other's childhood patterns and aloneness, the Hermit here, and the Three of Wands in reverse. So it's the problem here is that people doesn't want to really experience and dig deep in what's going on. It's trying to fix things on a surface level, but you really need to dig deep this time. Like, go into your lonely places, stay with yourself. As I said, be bored out of your skull, turn off the TV, sit somewhere in nature, feel the stress, feel the rush, feel the anxiety, and just stay with it. Feel the tiger in the cage scenario, and when you want to go and from there you just stay a little bit more, and then you want to go again and you just stay a little bit more. It's a threshold, so it will be a little bit difficult, but it's for you to learn something beautiful and to get to know yourself better. It will also make you learn your own language of feelings. And here we have the future, and it's Eight of Pentacles is ordinariness, and we have death here in the reverse. Then playfulness, it's another page, it's the last page I think we got. This is the fire page. We haven't got the water page either. And here we have the miser and the integration. Okay, so this is it's like you're dealing maybe with another person that's not that helpful. Okay, you have had some kind of dream that you wanted to create with this person, and maybe they are not helping you, and you get conflicted because this dream is very strong within you, and this person not wanting it, or this group of people doesn't want it. It's making you feel like your life mission isn't worth anything, or that your feeling is leading you astray, but it can be like this. If we can see people that have really changed the world, they haven't really got the reward in their lifetime. It's generations to come that gets the rewards. So sometimes we need to shift the energy. We need to strive in a certain direction, and the more people that strives in that direction, eventually the shift will happen. But right now it's like people are not really helping. They don't want to transform. They don't want to change. They want to have fun. They don't want to dig deep. They don't want to lose what they have gained. And it might be your masculine side, or a masculine side of a person acting like this. They have had like some kind of control over their life, and not having to feel their pain, not having to share their riches. And now there's something new coming that wants things to be more balanced between the yin and the yang, and for the things to come to full circle. So the patriarchy is going to have to yield and give up both to not have feelings, and also give up a lot of their powers, because the pendulum movement have gone extremely to patriarchy, and somewhere maybe in the beginning of the like 1920 or something, it started to shift a little bit back, and we're almost on the threshold, almost, and it's going to shift and become more and more feminine, and then it's going to go back like this. It takes some thousands of years. Maybe we have been like 4,000 years at least in the patriarchal system, maybe even more, and now it's going to, it has started to shift back, and we will have like maybe 4,000 to 6,000 years with a feminine system. So it's like this last grasp of the dinosaur. Someone doesn't want to lose their feeling of like that everything is in its right place. They don't want to make the sacrifice, and it's like going from having your job, eating breakfast in the morning, going to work, coming home, kissing the wife, kissing the children, going to football practice, to having a life in total chaos because you go through some life crisis, and you are depressed, and you don't want to go to your work anymore, and you don't really know if you love your wife, and all these things. So it's like a person doesn't want to let go of what they had that were well organized, and they also don't want to. They want to have just the fun side of things, not the bad side, and they don't want to lose the position that they might have had earlier. And this might be you as well, Cancer, going through these things. Okay, so the first card here for your past is the Thunderbolt, and it's in the reverse, so it's the Tower. So it kind of shows that this energy has been going on, raging in your life, maybe since like early 2010, 2012, 2014. It has been important years. 2013 was also rather intense, and it's like this has been going on for you for quite some time, and probably starting to exhaust you a little bit. But everything that is built on loose ground, it has to fall down, because we're going to build something new in its place, and then the old needs to be erased. So it's just continuing like this. And here we have a compromise, Six of Pentacles in the reverse. So when this Six of Pentacles comes, it's usually some kind of imbalance in a relationship to another person or to people in general. It might be that you are over functioning, another person isn't really functioning at all, or that you can't really take responsibility and everyone else needs to take responsibility for you, or that you are doing everything in a relationship trying to fix it and the other person doesn't do so much at all. It needs to be more balanced. It needs to be like people need to find their own way, and sometimes we split like oil and water because we are not supposed to go on the same route anymore. Maybe you are not, you need to divorce from your work because it's not your work anymore, and you might need to leave your wife and not the kids, but you need, because you don't have the same thing together as you had before. The things like the foundations of your life is shaking. So before, maybe you had the kids together and going back and forth to the football practice with the kids and doing their homework and cooking meals, and now your soul is calling for something else. So you can't stay like in a bad compromise. So life wants to take you on an adventure to somewhere. So you need to check out where this adventure wants to take you. And sometimes that means you will have to split from the people that you love the most. And it's kind of a little bit what we see here in the harmony card being reversed. It's like you were living a dream life before. If you look back, it was dreamy. It doesn't seem like you had that much problems and things were going smoothly, and then the shit hit the fan, okay? And this is just saying that why this is happening is because you needed to start to connect your feelings with your mind, with your third eye in this example, because before you could kind of let your mind rule and bury your emotions. So I won't make any drama in this situation. I don't want the same thing that she wants, but I'm going with it anyway. And you did it for the peace and harmony of your family and your friends and your lovers and the work. And it wasn't any problem because the energy of that time were different. So it was okay to live in some kind of consensus where there were authority and people that followed, and we had certain structures for how to live together. But now these things are changing. It's not that we are becoming rude, but we can't bury our soul anymore. So therefore we are going to have to be shaken a little bit before we have shaken ourselves that much that actually just reality is left. And this is what we see here, the rebirth. Here you were living this life of a lot of compromising, maybe being a servant to others, and also like full of acceptance for your life situation because you wanted something that was very meaningful to you, and it was this foundation that you had with other people and the love. So you had a beautiful foundation, and you were compromising with others, and you had a beautiful love here, but it came with a price. Okay, it came with a price. You had to act like you weren't really living at all. And then came the lion. The lion is your revolution. It's when you start have the volcanic eruption that might have happened here or going on for quite some time, and you, that's a higher frequency energy than this, like staying with a person even though you might not love them anymore, or going to work just to earn money. Here it's not possible anymore. It's like your whole system is doing a revolution, and you can just sit on the train going to your new destiny and can't really do so much. If you try to resist it, it will be like be squeezed between a rock and a hard place, and everything will be impossible for you. And eventually you come out free, and you just, okay, so I go with whatever is. I follow my life to where it takes me, and I accept whatever is. It's not like you're giving up. It's this with the serenity prayer again, that you you accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can, and you learn to know the difference, okay? So when a problem is unsolvable, you don't solve it, you let it be, okay? So it will come a solution another day. And here we have laziness, so it's the Nine of Cups, and it's also in the reversed. And Nine of Cups is when we live this content life, but it wasn't really, it's not always built on strong foundations. And here's just, it's like the ending is the beginning here. It's just saying the same thing, that it's keep on cracking, it's keep on falling. Because the Nine of Cups card, it wants you to see how your needs are getting met, or how your soul is rejoicing in a certain situation. And it wants you to follow your soul instead of taking the convenient community route together with those people that you once chosen. I'm not saying that people should split up. I want people to be in love and to be together, and all of this is aiming towards this, because what you have done up till now is probably being with people that reflect some old like some old system that you have lived by, where you were not fully able to love yourself through and through. So you have compromised yourself to be with certain people, and now you're supposed to wake up, free yourself from this iceberg, and create a tsunami wave where your emotions and your soul is finally free, and it's going to take a lot with it in its wake. But this is the past, so I'm thinking this has gone on for you for quite some time. This this conflict between, you want this beautiful love, but you also want to be your true you. Eventually you are going to have to you're going to have beautiful love and also be able to be fully you, because things have shifted and changed, and eventually you will be with the people that you were supposed to be with, instead of being with the people and just creating the same drama over and over and over and over. You are freeing yourself from all the old dramas now. So this is like a big clean out, and it's swooping away everything in its wake, okay? This is in the now, and here we have the Master in the reversed. So the ongoing tower in your life is because you haven't been following your own inner voice. You haven't been your own master. The Master is there. It's always there. You're always this wise. It's just that when you follow shoulds and shouldn'ts and human laws and regulations, and trying to beat your body into submission, you are not being the master, okay? You are being a slave. The master isn't the master of others, but the master of them all, themselves, and knowing themselves through and through, and following themselves through and through. It's like they have this leading star going in the down in the beard here, beard. Okay, so this fallout happening here. It's just for you to find your soul again. To become the master again. And it's also a cycle. We have been in Kali Yuga, that's really thick density energy, the dark ages, and we're just coming out of it, just about. We were in this masculine era in the Kali Yuga, because masculine kind of needed to protect us during this time, but now we are coming out, and it will be marvelous energy. Eventually, many thousand years from now, we're probably going to be able to, maybe there's going to be magic, levitation, people are going to have a visible aura, things like this, because we are coming into a higher density. It's like how our solar system is moving through the Milky Way. So it's so much wonderful things out there. So the gravity will change, and we will be more freely minded spirits, and this is what's being awakening in you now. So the old structure, the kind of emergency structure that were there to take you through the dark ages, when we were as far as possible away from our the binary soul that we are in a binary soul system with another star. I have understood it to be Sirius A and Sirius B, so it's actually 3 stars in this solar system at least. Might be more, like dwarf stars and things like this. But when we come closer and closer to them, there will be other energies, and we will have 3 sons. So that's a totally different life from what we have now. But when we went through the dark ages, we were so far away from this. And you can see just having a crystal around you is changing your vibration and energy. Imagine having like 2 more suns. That's a lot of crystals, okay? So, and here we have the courage card, and it comes from this compromise. So you see this green energy. This is when you follow your own mastery, okay? So to regain the master, you need to become the master of your own life. You need to become the hero of your own tale. You need to start to give yourself justice, start to align with yourself, trust your own instinct, not having like masters over you anymore, but becoming your own, not listening to the voice of like the myriad of the masses and trying to adjust to each and every one, but actually becoming more and more yourself. And that becoming more and more yourself will rule underneath much higher laws, that's much more like going to gain, we are going to gain much more from it, much more unconditional love, much more unselfishness on a totally different scale than this forced thing that we are living underneath now. Yes, forced thing, suppression. I was talking about you going through some kind of threshold where you are about to burst into a volcanic eruption, and this is the mind trying to keep you down, trying to keep you in shackles. No, I can't say that because then they will be sad, and they will think that I don't love them anymore, and if I do that, this person will be angry with me, and it might have consequences, and you tie yourself down. And this is what the divine has been trying to free you from all this time, your own shackles of your own soul self. So the courage that comes here, it's your soul that wants to push through, and it's pushing you even harder, this rock and this hard place. So it can happen like things in your life that really makes you go to the edge of what you can take. It's the meaning of this is that you're supposed to break down, okay? You're not supposed to take it. You're supposed to get the hint. Okay, this isn't working. I need to go inside and find my true way, okay? Because this isn't working. I'm driving myself crazy. I'm pushing myself to the limits, trying to make some outside authority happy with me. And it's 10, 10, 10. So, and here we have the 9 of Swords. That's it's the cruelty card, the sorrow card, the sadness card. It's a situation where we don't really like ourselves. We don't like what we are, what we have become. We don't like what our friends and our loved ones is doing towards us. We don't like how we are being treated in society, at work. But the 9 of Swords here is in the reverse. So it's saying that now it's just you, okay? Because it could end here today. You don't have to care anymore about outside authority. And you can stop this inner voice nagging away at you. If you just go through this, what I told you, stay and be bored, okay? Bored out of your skull. Stay with the pain. Just accept it. It's more to this. You making a lot of sad stories and making yourself into a victim. And this is the time when you free yourself and realize that you are the hero. The suppression here is the Wands suit, so it's the road of the hero towards their own awakening. So you are the only thing that's left in the way for your own soul to come through. And here it comes, the source. It's the Ace of Wands. So this is kind of your solar plexus energy, and you just feel that no, this isn't right. So you say no, and I want this, and it's your clear expression, and it just comes through here. It swoops through all this energy. It's the strongest energy card in the whole deck, despite the sun, and it's coming from your own beautiful soul self, okay, the one that you are when you are not stuck in Kali Yuga, okay. So here you're freeing yourself. It's like a birth of a master, and so it won't come out a little baby, it will come out like a guy with a beard. No, it's the old patriarchal way to look at a master. It can be like in so many different ways and varieties, because we're not going to be shaped in one square form. We're going to come in myriad of forms. So the master might be a variety of things, okay? And here you have this children that is so hesitating to go out in the world because it's scary and it might happen a lot of things, and my mama told me. And here you have the 9, aloneness connected to the 9, the sorrow card. So stay with this energy. It will be what is freeing you, and it will free these inner children of yours too, to live a more full life instead of being shackled here with you and with how you're treating yourself, okay. So this is the future, and here we have friendliness. So love is still there, even if you divorce your husband or wife and leave your friend behind and don't want to work at that workplace anymore. It's kind of, you don't feel you don't feel hatred towards them. You don't feel that much sadness either. It's just this beautiful love that's coming through. So you can love a person even on a distance, and you can love them even if they don't want the same thing as you. This is what comes when you give up the resistance, when whatever is, and you don't dictate what's going to be shown in your reality. Then you will find out what's really going on, and what's really going on is beautiful. So just going through this threshold, you will come out on the other side where you will kind of become very zen and don't mind whatever happens. And when you don't mind what happens, you free your love, okay? You become a loving creature. You rise to a level where you don't have to compare yourself with others anymore. You are what you are, they are what they are, and you're all making like a beautiful whole, like a beautiful tapestry of different threads in different colors. If every thread was in the same color, everyone was in conformity, there wouldn't be any there wouldn't be a tapestry, okay? It would be just a blanket. And well, here you're weaving something beautiful because you have found your own beautiful self, and you can allow others also to be their own beautiful self. So here we have 5 of Wands, and it's totality. It's the 5 of Wands, how it feels in your life. It's being in a conflict towards someone, or having an inner conflict within you. But when you just start to accept whatever is, there will be a beautiful totality. 5 of Wands in the reverse, it's usually like forgiveness card, and I give up my struggle because it wasn't that important, you are more important card. But in this Osho-sen, it's a little bit, it looks, is even the 5 of Wands, like being in the midst of a battle, is beautiful totality from a Zen point of view, because everyone is contributing with their world view and making life more prosperous. It's not a problem that you want or think or like different things. It's the beautiful variety of life, the beautiful abundance of life, and it's how we fertilize each other. If everyone was looking alike, thinking alike, having the same dream, we will live in a nothingness, so the universe won't be anymore, and that when we are done, it's the breath like out, and when everything is finished. The breath in is when life is becoming like full of itself, and we are in this beautiful myriad of experiences, rubbing off on each other, having these battles. But I think, and I know, and I have seen, and I don't want. So And when we are done, when there's a beautiful consensus among all of us, we will go back to being nothing, because there won't be any contrast anymore. So be happy about the contrast. It's making you still being able to experience this beautiful game that we call life. When the contradictions isn't there anymore, we will go back to unity and being one again, until we explode like in a new big bang out to experience something new. Here we have ripeness, and ripeness is the 9 of Pentacles, and it's in reversed. You have all the 9s here, 999 connecting to the Hermit card, and you have 3 10s here, so it's rather intense, also with the Ace of Wands there. So you're really stepping out from something old and stepping into this new. All the 9, the Hermits, are in the reverse, because you don't want to, you have a little bit resistance left to staying in boredom, being lonely and separated, feeling alone, feeling like you are lost in space. If this is your reality, because this is how it looks, just accept it. Accept whatever is. If you are lonely right now, it's how God wanted you, because she wants to have a chat, and she can't talk with you if you are chatting with everyone else. So sometimes the divine is stripping you away from everything, because there's time to get some new instructions. Here you're struggling against this new instruction because you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be bored. You don't want to stay at home. You don't want to, it's a lot of things that you don't want. All this I don't want, just accept, and accept the wave of pain that might come through, because it's this tsunami that needs to come with all the suppressed emotions that you have tried to not feel. And as long as, when you are still within yourself, finally all these things that you have resisted will come through. So it will be problematic, but if you do it during the day, you don't have to do it during the night. And here we have maturity, and it's in the reversed. So 2 aces, so it's very your reading is very structured here. These 10s, the 9s, the aces, and the maturity in the reversed, it's kind of no chances. So it's saying that you are going into a blissful state where you kind of start to accept everything, and you're getting no chances. Okay, nothing is really happening in your life. So it's like this vacuum. It's like you're going through the gateway. So there's a stillness. Nothing is happening, because nothing has been created just yet. And you just need to find your own source energy, like your own inner vibration. You can feel your own inside, and just try to find it. Try to see if you can feel it, your own inner vibration, the own tone of your own soul. So that's the only thing I see here, and kind of nothingness. So you're going through this. It's like when 2 trains are moving in the opposite direction. At the train station, it's like no one is really moving, okay, or they're moving really fast, or sometimes you are standing still and the other train is moving and it seems like you are moving. So it's some kind of distortion with the perspectives here. So you might feel like you are like hanging in suspense, when really you are falling through space in 700,000 kilometers per hour. Okay, so it's something that like that's going on here. It's very profound. Just let it happen. Don't label it, because you are going to feel, I'm bored, I'm this, I'm that. Try to not label things. Try to just be with it as it is. Here we have politics, and this is like the grand finale with all these things. And the 7 of Swords, it's how we are lying to ourselves and others, and how they lie back to you when we're not being fully authentic. So it's like you are lying to yourself here still a little bit, trying to say to yourself that you are okay, because you don't want to feel the pain anymore. You need to accept that you're not okay, because you can't have this resistance still with you when making this transformation, okay? if you have remedies of sadness, go with them, wallow in them, see them, excavate them, turn every stone inside of yourself and bring in the light. Because there's still things here, like you say, well, I'm totally over this. I'm glad that they sacked me. I really wanted to do my own thing. Instead of saying, yeah, it was really sad because it's it hit right where I felt most, I feel useless anyway, and when they kind of sacked me, I really felt like, oh, so this is true, so this is what I'm working with right now. Instead, you're saying I'm just fine. So it's something here, ordinariness and this 7 politics. It's like you're trying to act like things are fine, when really you are going through the most profound experience in your whole life, and you are trying to act like nothing is happening. But maybe this is what you need to do. Maybe it's like a secret still. Maybe you can't share this with others just yet, and it's fine by me. Whatever you need to do it. If you feel like I can't express this to anyone, they won't understand, we believe you, okay? You are your own authority now, so if you think that this is a good thing, it's a good thing. But it's also, it's a new start, and still this old thing. It's like when people have masks and you don't know if you can trust them or not. Maybe this is what you need to look at. Maybe it doesn't matter if you can't trust them. Maybe it doesn't matter what they do. Maybe it doesn't matter what they strip away with being deceitful or not being trustworthy. Maybe you can take whatever comes. I'm thinking that this is something that you need to open up to. That maybe whatever happens on the outside doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how many times a person fooled you, or it's like their game, and if you are playing a part of it, so fine. It doesn't really matter, because you can take whatever happens if you have cleaned out your own inside. Okay, so I'll read this center card for you. The figure on this card is quite literally all tied up in knots. His light still shines within, but he has repressed his own vitality, trying to meet so many demands and expectations. He has given up all his own power and vision in return for being accepted by the very same forces that have imprisoned him. The danger of suppressing one's own natural energy in this way is apparent in the cracks of a volcanic eruption about to take place around the edges of the image. The real message of this card is to find a healing outlet for this potential explosion. It is essential to find a way to release whatever tensions and stresses might be building up inside you right now. Beat on a pillow, jump up and down, go out in the wilderness and scream at the empty sky, anything to shake up your energy and allow it to circulate freely. Don't wait for a catastrophe to happen. In Sanskrit, the name is Alaya Vigyan, the house where you go on throwing things into the basement that you want to do, but you cannot because of social conditions, culture, civilization. Alaya Vigyan. That's a very good thing. I like to have a concept for that. But they go on collecting there, and they affect your actions, your life, very indirectly. Directly, they cannot face you. You have forced them into darkness. But from the dark side, they go on influencing your behavior. They are dangerous. It is dangerous to keep all those inhabitations inside of you. It is possible that these are the things that come to a climax when a person goes insane. Insanity is nothing but all those suppressions coming to a point where you cannot control them anymore. But madness is acceptable, while meditation is not. And meditation is the only way to make you absolutely sane. Okay, so I will go on with my plan to take a wild Kuan-Yin, even if I already have spoken for 58 minutes. Okay, I hope you're not... Well, I hope you're bored out of your skull, because this is the medicine for this May. Okay, 8, Snow Shepherdess. So, my beautiful Cancer, this is message from the divine straight to your soul. I come to you with news of unexpected life, Something that seemed once impossible without energy or hope of success is coming to life. Not only is this an unexpected happening, but it will be taking place when you think it least likely. It comes with a decree that life shall have its way, no matter what circumstances appear to dictate. And in the midst of great loss, scarcity, or denial of life, a blessing of abundance, fertility, and new beginnings will be given. Out of apparent emptiness, something surprising and beautiful is going to happen. The snow shepherdess is an omen of the most unlikely sort of success. She brings with her a blessing of the energy of life in the midst of what may feel more like an ending. It is the triumph that happens unexpectedly after hope was lost. Feeling defeated can be a painful experience for the mind, yet if we are holding on too tightly, we can suffocate instead of animate what we want to flourish in our world. The snow shepherdess brings you reassurance that it is okay to let go, to loosen your grip physiologically and emotionally, and even allow for endings to happen. Those endings are only steps towards new beginnings. Remember that nothing is beyond the power of life, not even death, for life emerges in new form again and again. Place your hope in life, and you shall gain blessings of healing and comfort. No matter how final things may seem, love and life will prevail accordingly to a greater wisdom. So I'm thinking something is going on here where you, like this old thing needed to be shaken, your family, work, whatever, partnership, whatever, because your own mastery wants to come through. But I'm thinking whatever you had, like with certain people, not everybody, but certain people, they are still there in your life. They're still going to be in your life for the reason to kind of test you out, I will guess, because it seems like an energy that you might have been shaken off yourself will come and be recycled, maybe for you to really see how much you have changed. If you are faced with the same energy again and you realize how much different you are in handling this, that might be the actual wake-up call for you to see your own possibilities of change. So I'm thinking something that you love a lot, but that's not really good for you, might be recycled. It's a no chance, but it seems like some energy that it's sometimes like this. We love the people that's the most deceiving towards us because we don't really love ourselves. And it might be this kind of person might be recycled in your life. Okay, my dear Cancer, I hope this helped. I want you to take really, really good care, and I will perform my late May readings in the beginning of May, so watch out for that. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so you will get hopefully come first next time also. Okay, bye bye.